Hello, my name is Amber Heiser, and I'm here to do some chair yoga with you today. I think we'll start with just a little bit of breathing. I'm going to have you go ahead and just find a comfortable spot to sit. If that means moving around a little bit, kind of wiggling around, go ahead and do that. As we begin into our breath with yoga, I do want you to be very still, but if that stillness is rigid, that's not where we want to come from. So I have you go ahead, find your comfortable spot, and then when you're ready, let's go ahead and sit up tall, close your eyes, and just take a few deep breaths. As you inhale, notice where your breath goes. Are there areas in your body that move, areas in your body that don't move? As you exhale, let that exhale happen slowly and gently. As you breathe, think about the last time you took a deep breath. How often you breathe deep. Notice how large your breath can be. I'd like you to stay here for a few moments and just breathe. Every exhale, let your shoulders relax down from your ears. And every inhale, feel your lungs expand. Continue to breathe. Our breath in yoga is our anchor. If at any point you're not comfortable with what we're doing, I'd like you to come back to just the breath. Let yourself reset and then begin again when you're ready. As you come to an exhale, let's drop our chins down towards our chest. Make sure your shoulders don't round forward as you do that. And just take a moment, feel the stretch up through the back of the neck. Maybe you even move your head back and forth. As your head comes back in towards the center, with a nice big inhale, bring your head back up. Keep your gaze at the ground as you open your eyes and just notice how you feel. Let's take a moment, one or two more breaths here. Relax your shoulders. Easy breath. Let's take a moment to bring our gaze forward, and we'll start with a few side stretches. These areas in here, we're looking to stretch them. It's something, again, like those deep breaths we may not do very often. I'm going to have you take your hand to the side of the chair. Your other arm can be beside you, or it can come up overhead. As you take in a nice big inhale, reach to your ability over your head, and nice gentle exhale. Watch your shoulder, don't bring it up towards the ear. And one more here, nice big inhale, and gentle exhale. Let's bring this over to the other side. So same idea. If you've got some issues with your shoulder, please stay within your boundaries and just make it work for you. Nice big inhale here, reach to your ability. And gentle through the exhale. One more time again, nice big inhale. And gentle exhale. Good. Let's go ahead and move into some cat and cow. So I know we usually do this on our hands and knees. Today we're going to do it in our chair. I'll have you start by actually letting your whole pelvis tilt backwards and let your head and shoulders round forward. So your gaze can come down towards the ground, exhaling here. And then as you inhale, imagine taking your tailbone away from the chair, shoulders back. You can even look up towards the ceiling. I'm going to have you bring that back and forth a few times. See if you can coordinate your breath and your movement. Remember, we're trying to keep our breath slow, but if your breath is a little quicker, a little slower, that's okay. Nice. Think about the last time you moved through all these ranges of motion through your spine. We'll do one more here. Our side bends asked our spine to move from side to side. Here we're moving our spine forward and back. One of the other ways we can move our spine is into a twist. So as you come back, find a neutral position. Again, try not to sit on your tailbone here. And I'm gonna have you go ahead and bring both your hands over to one side, hand to the outside of the knee or to the top of the thigh. And your other hand you can hold on to your chair. Nice big inhale, reach long through the top of the head, and then as you exhale, guide. Don't force yourself into this twist. Think about your knees stay parallel as you rotate your rib cage and you look up over the back shoulder. Here again, let's take a moment. Let's see how this affects our breath. Nice big inhale and gentle exhale. Nice, let's do about 2 more breaths here. As we come back forward, take a moment, reset. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. We got to keep it even. We've got to do it on the other side. So same idea, you can use your hands to guide you. Don't force yourself. If twisting doesn't work for your back, you can just turn your head. So here again, same idea, look over the back shoulder, nice big inhale, and relax into your exhale. Maybe you find after a breath or two, you can come just a bit deeper into the twist. Again, that's okay. And one more. Very good, let's bring this back. And take a moment, let's cat and cow one more time. Just kind of let go of any tension that maybe you found in your spine, your back, your shoulders. And next we'll come to a standing position. As we do this cat and cow, you're moving through your spine. You're going to bring your spine forward and you're going to bring your spine back. And we're going to change that up a little bit. So bring yourself up as you're comfortable. I'm going to have you move to your chair. You can be on fists, you can be on hands, you can even maybe put something on your chair if your chair feels a little low here. This time, instead of moving my back, and I'm going to show you that cat and cow here. So here, I'm taking my back towards the ceiling and letting it come back. So we're not looking to do that. We're actually looking to move our shoulders and our shoulder blades. So I'm going to have you do your best to keep your spine at a neutral position. And then you're going to go ahead and drop your shoulder blades towards each other. So it's kind of like your spine is dropping down towards the ground. And then you're going to go ahead and reach your shoulder blades wide as your spine comes towards the ceiling. So I'm going to turn my head down. I actually want you to look down at the ground as you do this. And same idea. There's a lot of muscles that attach our arms and our shoulders to our trunk, and we're trying to get movement between those areas. If you're comfortable, let your head hang. Let your head hang forward and continue the movement. Watch the shoulder blades, make sure they're not coming towards the ears. This kind of feels like a nice little massage. Let's do about 2 more of these. Good. Let's come back to standing, and I'm going to have you turn forward. Let's take the foot closer to the chair forward as the other foot comes back, and we'll come into a warrior 1. So warrior 1, I want you to hold onto the chair, and then your other arm is going to come up over your head, cactus arm or regular arm, shoulders away from the ears. Nice. Watch the bend in the forward knee. Make sure that your knee isn't in front of your toes here. We'll just take a moment to breathe. The warrior pose is a very strong pose. If at this point you're comfortable, other arm can come away. And we'll work on our balance here. Find something to look at, maybe on the floor, 10 feet in front of you. And here again, just focus into your breath. Relax the shoulders, relax your breath. Very good. Let's take our hands down. We're going to bring it back to the chair, and we'll come to a forward bend. So you may find that bringing yourself to the chair is an appropriate forward bend. Maybe you can bend your elbows and come a little bit further. As you come into your forward bend, you can have some bend in the knees, but not too much here. Maybe even elbows come down. Here again, I want you to know your limits and just kind of find that spot where you feel a stretch. It's not painful. It's not to the point where you can't breathe. And then last but not least, let's let our head relax down. Take a breath or two here. If you find that you are dizzy, please come up. And one more breath. With an inhale, let's go ahead and bring ourselves back up. You can use your hands to walk yourself back. And we'll do a balance on this side. We'll repeat all this on the other side, don't worry. We want to keep it even here. I'm going to have you go ahead and push down through the leg that's closer to the chair. So if you can see, I'm kind of pushing my foot into the ground and it's making my other hip come up away from the ground. Hand on the chair to start. And let's go ahead and bring the toes away from the ground. They can always be on the ground, shoulders relaxed. If you're comfortable, one hand or both hands into heart center. Find your gazing spot and just breathe. Let's do another breath or two here, just kind of finding our balance, finding our grounding. If you're comfortable, spread your toes, feel the muscles in the feet helping you balance. Nice, let's take that down, take a moment, just breathe. And we're going to add on to that. At any point, you can come back to that same balance, but if you'd like to, we're going to try another version of balance. So same idea, grounding in through your foot, pushing down, lifting. Now this is challenging. I'm going to have you go ahead and see if you can turn your leg out to the side and then bring it back. If I put my fingers right here on my hips aren't moving, just my leg. Nice. All right, we're going to turn this into tree pose. Toes on the ground, maybe toes off the ground, hands at heart center. Take another breath. I hope you're still breathing here. Don't hold your breath. Nice. Go ahead, take it down. Take a moment. You can shake it out a little bit. So you're welcome to turn around or come to the other side of your chair. And same idea here. Let's go ahead and start with our warrior one. So leg closer to the chair is forward. Other leg comes back, stepping back as far as you're comfortable. Again, stay in your comfort zone. Shoulders away from the ears. Let's bring the arm up. Find your balance. Find your breath. And then as you're ready, if you'd like to, you can challenge your balance a little bit more. Maybe letting go of the chair. Remember, the most advanced version of yoga is knowing the pose that's right for you. Nice. Breathing easy, breathing gentle. One more breath. All right, let's come away from this and we'll come into our forward bend. So our forward bend is to help us loosen up the hamstrings. And if you're like me, and in these times, I've probably spent more time sitting than I really need to, my hamstrings are getting tight. So we're gonna go ahead and stretch them out again. If you're comfortable, shift your weight back to your heels, lift your toes, spread them out, nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, let your head drop down towards the ground. If there's tension in the back of your neck, let it go here. With your next inhale, let's come back up and we'll try that balance on this side. So you'll probably find that balance is easier on one side than the other. That's very, very common. What that means is you have one side you can work on to bring it even to the other side. So same idea, push down through your foot. It's actually activating muscles on the side of your hip. From here, let's just test the waters, find the balance. If like me, you haven't done a lot of yoga recently, let's take it slow here. If you'd like to, you can take your hands to heart center. Remember, find your spot, your gazing spot, your drishti. And let's go ahead and take a breath or two here. Very nice. Let's take that back down. Take a moment, let's reset. I know those foot muscles can get kind of tired, so go ahead, give them a break. And we'll go through that one more time. We'll add the leg movement if you're comfortable. So same idea, go ahead, lift, shoulders relaxed. Remember, these aren't helping you balance, just keep them down. And then if you're comfortable, out to the side and back. Part of our yoga practice asks us to keep our awareness internal. Usually what we're focused on is always around us. Certainly like when you're driving, you've got to watch what's going on around you, but yoga asks us to be aware of what's happening within our own body. Let's go ahead and bring this down. Tree pose here or tree pose here, hands in at heart center, and let's just breathe. So if you don't have time, when you're driving to focus on relaxing your shoulders, that's okay. Let's do that here. Just take a moment, breathe. Don't hold your breath. Very nice. Go ahead, take it down and come back and forth a little bit. Relax your hips. Since we did work with our hips, we're going to do a few stretches to help relax them out. Let's come back to a seated position. And we're going to start with a figure 4 stretch. And I know that this can be very challenging, so I'm going to give you a few options. Option 1 is to just cross your ankles. If you find that your hip is not comfortable or this makes your knee hurt, this is going to be a good place to be. Option 2 is to bring your ankle over your knee. Here's the thing. If you do this, what I want you to make sure that you're upright. So if I bring my leg up and I'm here and I gotta grab onto my leg for dear life, this is gonna be a better option because I do want you to stay upright. We're gonna lean forward. So find the one that works for you. Taking a nice big inhale, relax. And then as you exhale, let's go ahead and come down. So I've got my hands on my legs, but I'm not forcing and pushing my leg down. I'm just using my hand as extra weight. Length through the back of the neck here, so make sure that you're looking down towards the ground. Relax your shoulders. And once again, think about maybe the last time you did this kind of movement with your body. It's probably not something you do very common. So we can think of this almost as like a multivitamin. If you're not getting enough vitamin C in your diet, you could use a vitamin C tablet to get that into your diet. So we're going to use this kind of the same way. Let's bring it up, and then if you'd like to, you can saw your leg back and forth. It's going to relax out all those muscles that we just stretched. Nice. Let's try this on the other side, and we'll see if this side works the same as the other side. So again, test the waters, decide where you'd like to go. Nice big inhale, and then as you exhale, let's come forward, or sitting upright may be a good enough stretch for you here. Here again, focus on making sure the back of the neck is relaxed. Pay attention to your jaw. If you're clenching your teeth right now, separate your teeth. Let go of that tension. Maybe even come out of the pose a little bit. It shouldn't be that intense. From here, let's go ahead, come back up, and then same idea if you'd like to, just kind of rock back and forth a little bit, let go of any tension that you created. Very good. Let's bring this down. We're going to work on the muscles on the front of the hip. Sometimes those get really, really tight. So I'm going to show you a way that you can stretch them. Watch your back in this position. I'm going to have you go ahead and draw your leg back, but we're looking at the leg moving back at the hip versus this. So here I kind of brought my entire body forward. And yes, I can still sit up, but this is hard on my back. So we're gonna start seated upright. And as you draw your leg back, you're gonna do your best not to let your pelvis tilt forward. So you're gonna walk back as far as you're comfortable here. You should feel that stretch through the muscles on the front of the leg. When you're in a seated position, these muscles are shortened. So we're trying to make them longer. When you walk, you actually need this range of motion. Shoulders relax. You can hold on to your chair, and we'll take a few deep breaths. Nice. If you're comfortable, you can walk your foot back. We've got one more option here. We can add that same side stretch, trying to get in through more muscles on the side. So hand is on the chair for support. Other arm comes up and over, lengthening through this side of your body, shortening through the other side. You can take your gaze down, or you can take your gaze towards the ceiling. Sometimes that can challenge your balance. So again, just kind of find the spot that works for you. Make sure you're breathing. Everybody's breathing, right? Very good. Let's take this down. I'm going to have you take your back leg, swing it out to the side, and then we'll go ahead and come forward. So same idea. Try to bring your entire pelvis forward. You're going to feel your sits bones, those points at the bottom of your pelvis, shift down, shoulders away from the ears. And then we'll go ahead and bring it up, and let's do these same two on the other side. So if you'd like to turn, we'll bring it to the same two poses. So remember, just as you walk back, your pelvis is upright, shoulders down away from the ears. And then you can decide, you can choose whether coming into a side bend would benefit your pose. Gaze down, gaze up, gaze forward. Here again, just breathe. Try to breathe into the side that we're stretching. You've got a bunch of little muscles on the sides of your rib cage. So in between each rib, you've got muscles. We're trying to stretch through those muscles with this pose. All right, let's bring it down. And then we'll come into our seated warrior 2. So just like the other side, leg comes out to the side, pelvis facing the same direction as your bent knee. And then we'll take it forward. Should feel some stretch on the inner thigh here. If you don't feel it, you can always come lower, maybe hands on the ground. And then we'll come back up. I'd like you to face forward here. We're gonna come back through just a few of the poses we started with. So let's take a moment to do a few more cat and cows. Right now the muscles or the areas in the front of my body are getting closer together. My back is getting longer. I'm gonna tuck my head. And then as I take it the other way, the opposite thing happens. We're trying to stretch through some of the muscles on the front side of the body, shoulders back. And then take it forward. Two or three more. Nice, let's come back to a neutral position. Your knees can touch if they're comfortable. If they're not, here again, we just want to make sure that the knees stay even. Let's go ahead, take the hand to the outside of the leg, and we're going to come to the same twist. Make sure neither of your butt cheeks come off the mat or off the chair. This happens sometimes. I want you to see if you can keep your spine upright. And then just find that twist, look up over the shoulder, and here again, let's take a nice deep inhale. Relaxing exhale. And one more. And then we'll take it to the other side. So same idea here.
seedlings now a tree.
As you come back forward, take a moment to find your upright seated position. We're going to finish with a few shoulder stretches. And here again, if you have shoulder issues, I want you to just limit your movement. We'll take one hand down. Options here would be hand to the side. You can hold on to your chair, or you can take your hand behind you. If I had jeans on, I would take my hand and put it in the opposite pocket. So my shoulder is kind of pinned down and back. You can take your other hand to your chest and then go ahead and draw your head up. So I'm ramping up my head. Here my chin is down and forward. I want you to bring it back. Imagine you're gonna make a double chin, and then you can go ahead and reach your ear towards your shoulder. This hand can come to the head just as extra weight. Here again, we don't wanna yank and pull. We just wanna use it as extra weight here. Make sure you're not pulling forward, you're pulling down towards your ear. Feel the stretch up through the side of the neck. You can probably see I'm very tight through this area. You can see my muscles and how tight they are. Very nice. Let's take the head forward. You can take a moment, shake out your arm, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So go ahead, hand behind you, ramp up your head. Head comes down, and then if you're comfortable, use your hand as weight. Go ahead, let your head come forward. You can let go of that stretch. Take a moment, rock your head back and forth. And then we'll go ahead and stretch our platysma. That's a muscle that runs through the front of your neck, so from your jaw to your collarbones. I want you to take your hands just below your collarbone, see if you can find some skin, and bring your hands to a place where you can kind of anchor that. From here, don't let your head drop back. You're actually going to lift your chin. It looks the same, but it feels different. Lift your chin up towards the ceiling. We're going to feel that stretch all the way down through the front of the neck. You can go ahead, maybe rock your head back and forth a little bit. Maybe you feel it all the way up to your ears. That's good. Nice. Let's go ahead and bring our head forward. Think about dropping your chin in towards your chest. And one more time, let's rock back and forth. As your head comes back and towards the center, go ahead, bring your head up, and we're going to come into our Shavasana. So just like the beginning of class, we'll take a few moments to breathe. You can sit forward on your chair. If you're more comfortable sitting back, you can go ahead and move back. Take a moment, wiggle around, find that comfortable position. Remember again, I do want you to make sure that your shoulders are relaxed, that you're not clenching your jaw. If you know that you make fists or hold tension somewhere, pay attention to that. When you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes. And let's start with a few deep breaths. So here again, exaggerate the size of your breath. Remember, the breath that we take throughout the day isn't a large breath. It's not as large as our breath can be. So to find our really comfortable, relaxing breath, maybe we've got to find both sides. We know our short breath, we have to find the long breath. So with your eyes closed, make sure they're very gently closed. With every exhale, just let your body relax. As you begin to find that relaxation, lengthen through your exhales. Your inhales are long. And see if you can get your exhales to be as long, if not longer, than your inhales. Those long exhales tell our body that we would like to be relaxed, we'd like to be in a calm state. With every inhale, think about bringing in maybe another breath, nice, clean, new energy. And as you exhale, if there's anything you don't need, tension, stress, whatever it is, let it go through the exhales. With your inhales, fill that area with that new breath. We'll stay here for a few more moments. Do your best to keep relaxed, to keep your mind focused onto the breath. And keep your breath gentle and easy. I'd like you to continue to breathe. I'll let you know when it's time to come back. I'd like you to take a moment to finish whatever breath you're on. And as you come into your next breath, take a moment to wiggle your fingers, maybe wiggle your toes. Slowly bring yourself back from relaxation. As you're ready, you can turn your head, you can wiggle around. And when the time is right, you can open your eyes, bring your hands to heart center, and bring your gaze back up and forward. I want to thank you all for letting me come and do yoga with you on this beautiful day. Namaste.